right. So I've been very intentionally thinking about how I want to bring you into the experience of me curating the Corporate to Entrepreneur live event. It's one thing to show up and promote the room and promote the space, but it's another to give you a glimpse of what it's like for me to prepare. What made me think about doing this is I recently was talking to the women who are a part of the communities that I support. It's a CEO collective. It's a space where all of my clients have an opportunity to participate. And in the middle of this year, in July, I am going to be hosting a signature event for my clients. And one of them was like, Denise, what can we expect? And my response to her probably was something she wasn't expecting. She probably expected me to just kind of download where I was going to go with things. But my response was, I have to wait for divine direction before I can tell you exactly what the experience is going to be. I can generally tell you what to expect, but I've got to wait for my download. Well, as I am nearing the Corporate to Entrepreneur live experience, the downloads are starting to happen. And they're so incredible for me to kind of sit on the outside and envision everything that I am going to bring to life for all of the powerful women that are going to be in that space. And it was so good to me that I wanted to figure out how to share it with you. I wanted to invite you into the experience of me pulling things together. So today I want to take you a little bit behind the scenes. I have some notes here. I am in full curating mode for Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. The downloads are happening. And I want to just be real clear. The space that I am in is not about building slides. That's probably one of the last things I'll do. And I only do that because it's a great way for me to stay on schedule, is to have a slide presentation. So that is not at all where I start. I am thinking about the woman who will be in the room with me. As I think about where she is in this journey of continuing her success and making this intentional decision to pivot into entrepreneur out of all the things that she could do, I fully recognize she is a woman who has checked so many boxes. This week, I had a conversation with one of my clients, and it was so powerful because she said she had reached the point where she was doing a reflection to figure out what her next was going to be. But in doing the reflection, she was thrusted into this amazing space of gratitude because she could see where she had checked so many of the boxes for herself. She had accumulated so many marks of success. She had achieved so many milestones of accomplishment. And she was at this state where the power of choice was in her hand. And that is the woman who's in the room. She now has the pen in her hand, and she is ready to design her next life. And she fully knows that entrepreneurship is a big part of how she will make impact and income. And so the boxes that she has checked has been career success. The boxes she has checked has been leadership success. The boxes she has checked is achievements that she once dreamed about. That's who's sitting in the room, and that's who I am preparing for. And even with those accomplishments, there is a and yet there. She recognizes that things are not over for her. She knows it's not over. She knows there's more in her, more impact, more expression, and now is ownership. It is about stepping into ownership of her vision, of her dream, of what is possible for her. She's in the driver's seat, she's got the pen, she's ready to go. And so, as I am envisioning standing in front of the room, I recognize that I am not dealing with a beginner. Not by any stretch of the imagination is this a beginner. So I can't show up with how to start a business in energy. That's not where she is in the process. Yes, there are things that she doesn't know. And yes, there are checklists she needs to follow in terms of setup. But she is mentally not focused there because that's just another to do. This room is filled with accomplished women, brilliant women, discerning women who are standing at the edge of their next chapter that they feel called includes entrepreneurship. So, as I take all of that in mind and I think about curating this experience, I am not asking myself, what should I teach? This environment is not about teaching. I am asking myself some key questions as I prepare. And the answers I'm getting to these questions are wowing the heck out of me because I was once that person. And so I am coming up with the things that I know are going to be meaningful to her as she takes her next steps forward. And so I'm asking myself questions like, what does she need to recognize? What conversations has she been having silently to herself? What would make her feel deeply understood? And if you've been feeling that pull, then this is something that I want you to know. I am already preparing for you. I am working to curate this space that's going to help accelerate you in the right way. That's what corporate to entrepreneur live is all about. So I have decided, and maybe it's a crazy idea, to give you some glimpse of what it's like for me to prepare this space. I think some of this behind the scenes perspective will allow you to understand the depth that is being brought together to serve this woman who is ready to go from corporate to entrepreneur. As I spent time this weekend really dialing in where we were going to go and how I'm going to navigate through that, I have come to the conclusion that this is going to truly be transformational. Now, I know that is a word that a lot of people use. I know transformational is a word that we often hear, but hear me out. This is going to be transformational. The word transformational means it is made anew. It is turned into something new. It is evolved into something that was already there, but now it has changed into something new. And this space is going to take all of that accomplishment that has happened, and it is going to transform it into this new beginning that is not a new start. We are going to be talking about the corporate to entrepreneur journey. We are going to be talking about the corporate to entrepreneur method. And the two of those things coming together are like wonder twins. They are going to activate you and allow you to be remembered in a human sense, but also strategic in a business sense. And together, you are going to feel powerful again. You see, one of the things about this woman who has checked all the boxes is she has entered this state where she knows how to do it with her eyes closed. She knows how to show up and make things happen with her eyes closed. And while she is still driving the results, she's slowly detaching from it. But I want you to feel it again. I want you to feel the joy of your work. I want you to feel the impact of your work. I want you to do the thing that you feel called to do. And this room is going to be a safe space to accelerate that. So, over the next couple of conversations, what I am going to be unfolding for you is what's happening behind the scenes to prepare this space that is going to accelerate you forward, especially if what I talked about resonated with you at all. Now, here's the thing. I have an information session that is going to happen 1 week from today. I will be showing up to answer questions and showing up to impart vision of what's going to happen at Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. And if you are remotely curious about it, I want to invite you into the space so that you can learn more. You can check the caption associated with this video wherever you're watching it, and you can make that appointment with yourself to connect with where you're going, because your future is tied to it and you've got the pen in your hand ready to design. I am so excited about Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. I am so excited about the women that I am going to welcome into Charlotte, North Carolina, and host for this incredible 2-day experience. I am excited for the transformation that is literally going to happen in your life when you say yes to joining me. And so you've got a couple of options. You can go ahead and register right away for Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. The link is where you're watching. Or you can join me for the information session where I'll go deeper. Now, as I said, in our next few conversations, I'm going to unfold even more about this experience I'm curating. One that is going to transform your life from this time forward. And that's exactly what you need, because going through the motions, that's played out. You need to be reconnected to doing what you love. You need to be fulfilled from the inside out. You need to respond to that call for ownership and entrepreneurship and really go for impacted income. And so, again, join me for either the information session or certainly join me for Corporate to Entrepreneur Live in April 18th and 19th in Charlotte, North Carolina.